Alright, so today we are going to be talking about unit rates. So first off, we have some vocabulary. We have two things. The first thing is a rate. The second thing is a unit rate. So since we're talking about unit rates, we need to figure out first what is a rate. A rate is a ratio of two quantities that have different kinds of units. So for example, I have this rate right here. Two quantities. We have letters and seconds. They're different kinds of units. So in this example, this means that I can type 160 letters for 40 seconds. That's what this rate means. The unit rate is when the rate is simplified. It's when it is simplified and the denominator is 1. So in this case, 160 letters per 40 seconds. I want the unit rate for 1 second. How many letters can I type in 1 second? So in this case, how do I go from 40 to 1? So to go from 40 to 1, I would divide by 40. So if I divide by 40 in the denominator, I would divide by 40 in the numerator. So 160 divided by 40 means that it would be 4 letters. So in this case, I could type 4 letters per 1 second. So the unit rate, when it's simplified, the denominator is 1. So, for example, I have $11 that I spent on 4 boxes of cereal. Now, I want to know how much was just 1 box of cereal. So, to find that, to go from 4 to 1, I would have to divide by 4. So if I divide by 4 in the denominator, I have to divide by 4 in the numerator. So what is 11 divided by 4? 11 divided by 4 is $2.75. So in this case, 1 box costs $2.75. You may have noticed in the previous example, what we did is basically all we did was to find the unit rate. All you had to do is divide the numerator by the denominator. Divide the numerator by the denominator. This is a main point, so please write this down. So remember, it was basically $11 for 4 boxes. And all that I did was divide the $11 by 4. So 11 divided by 4, if I work that out, it'll be $2.75. Alright, so now it's your turn. What I want you to do is to pause the video, try this by yourself, unpause the video when you're ready to see what I have done. Alright, in this case, we are basically going on a trip. There are 400 miles, and we have 14 gallons in our car. I want to know how many gallons, or how many miles can we go on 1 gallon of gas. So in this case, all that we would have to do is, remember the main point that we just learned, divide the numerator by the denominator. So what is 400 divided by 14? That is equal to 28.6 miles. So if we divide it by 14 on the denominator to get to 1 gallon, we have to divide by 14 in the numerator as well. So our answer is 28.6 miles. Alright, so now we have an online store. We have store A that sells 15 songs for $12, and we have store B that sells 10 songs for $9. I want to know which store I should go to buy songs. Which store has a lower cost per song? I will find the unit rate for store A. You will find the unit rate for store B. So for store A, we have, I set it up where it has $12 for 15 songs. I want to figure out how much it costs for one song. With this, I would divide by 15 in both the numerator and the denominator. So $12 divided by 15 is 80 cents. That'd be 0.8 if you find it out, if you try to figure that, even once you figure it out. But 0.8 or 8/10, but when we're talking about money, remember it's basically 80 cents. It's not 0.8. So now what I want you to do, I want you to pause the video and unpause the video when you're ready to see what I've done to solve for store B. Alright, so if we have store B sells 10 songs for $9, and we want to see how much it costs for one song. So if we're doing this, we are going to divide the denominator by 10 and also the numerator by 10. So $9 divided by 10 is equal to 0.9 or 9/10, but remember we're talking about money. So it's not 9/10, it is 90 cents. So now I want to figure out which store has the lower cost per song. Do I want to go with store A that has 80 cents per song, or do I want to go with store B that has 90 cents per song? Well, the cheaper one is store A because it has 80 cents per song instead of 90 cents per song. Time for a quick review. To find the unit rate, remember you must always divide the numerator by the denominator.